Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun.
So when you come over here and you train with the Americans, are they better than you expected? Are they about
I mean,
equal? And
realistically,
then
no.
what's it like comparing that level of play to just training back home?
I feel the game style is a lot different, and over here, like that's what I was telling Zane. I said the ball that y'all are using, the Vulcan, is just so much faster. And
What are you guys using? Like a Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, Mumbai is hot, so it starts melting and
Yeah.
just gets so slow.
Right.
So
Yeah, your
yeah, it
thirds
just-
aren't as
no.
smooth over
like,
here. Yeah.
I was struggling day one,
Mm-hmm.
like struggling to make a third at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a friend who messaged me and he like, just if you play with the Vulcan, just try to. If you drop a third, I'll give you $100.
Hmm.
And I said, all right. Didn't happen.
What kind of paddle are you playing with?
Playing with the Yola, the 3S.
3S. Okay. Yeah, I know if you've got one of some of these Yolas, you combine that with a Vulcan ball. You and this, I feel like it's just gonna chirp me like this is just my game. But I
hear
feel
it,
like
Thomas.
if you
Let's
catch
hear
it
it.
the right way after you're playing with a Franklin for a little bit, and then you go play with the. I mean, you can launch them so long.
Yeah.
You catch it the right spot on the paddle, that thing is gonna fly.
Though today's singles was actually fun. I was decent at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you use it to your advantage. You're all the way back at the baseline, just ripping the ball. Yeah.
I actually feel like it. The Vulcan ball, I feel like would help too, because like
Yeah.
I actually think that you play a game, you take the ball early, you take it on the rise, and you also play spinny. And I think that a mushy Franklin ball doesn't spin particularly well. So like a harder Vulcan ball, I think you can actually manipulate a little bit better.
But I use the mod TA14, like 14 mm for singles, so it's a lot more hotter than the 3S.
Okay.
So
Gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
why when I play singles, I'm using that.
Gotcha.
But when I played with the Vulcan, I didn't feel that much of a difference.
Okay.
I felt I could go through it a lot more easier.
Gotcha.
At least singles.
Driving through the ball
Driving
with the
through the
Vulcan?
ball.
Yeah,
Driving
yeah,
through
for sure. I mean, it's gonna be it's certainly harder. We also played.
plus
It was
it's
like
cold.
60 degrees at the lab this morning. So
All right, we were just talking a lot about the different balls, how they're impacted by weather, what's consistent, what's not. I want to introduce you to the Gamma Chuck. It's the official ball of the Dink Minor League Pickleball National Championships and your new favorite playing partner. The Gamma Chuck Pickleball changes the game with its 38 holes and a symmetrical pattern that ensures a true flight every time you hit the court. Designed to withstand extreme outdoor temperatures, Chuck guarantees durability without warping or cracking. We included it in the pickleball box, and people have absolutely loved it. So you can go to, let's see, what is it, gammasports.com, and grab your Chuck load today. Nice. Dink 10 for 10% off your order. It's all caps. Dink 10. Get yourself some Chucks. Does Altaf have a decent reputation there in Mumbai, the Mumbai monster?
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I've not heard much. I've only heard of him a lot from my uncle because they played tennis together.
Oh, so okay, there's like a personal connection there. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so my uncle knows him because they played tennis together. So that's all that I know.
What about Zane? Do you guys care that he's half Indian?
I
You get any
did.
street cred?
I did get to know just day before yesterday that his mom lived like 5-7 minutes away from me.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's where my mom grew up.
So if you guys are like at the courts, you're chopping it up, you're talking pickleball, who are some of the players who you guys are following the most? Like, who to you is the most influential, we'd say U.S. player or global, any pickleball player in India, like in those crowds?
Influential in what way?
Just like you're kind of looking at them, you're talking about, did you see what this guy did? You know, is it Ben Johns, for example, right? Like, who's somebody with like a big reputation?
I think right now it's just a lot of people moving to seeing how. Right now, the hot topic would be how the right side players are playing so aggressively. So you see a lot more conversations on Hayden, Gabe, and stuff like that because it's a very different game from last year. It's just so much more aggressive. It's just so much more dominant of that side where you thought that's more of a passive side.
Like a support role.
Yeah. So it's just changing in that way where a lot of the guys over there. But A lot of people do look up to, right now they're looking up to Ben Johns probably, because everyone just in India right now, they see him, they see the paddles, they're like, oh, it has his name on it, and that's how they are keen on getting into pickleball and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. What about like YouTubers, content creators?
I've not heard much about that yet.
Okay. Nobody on YouTube outside of this podcast, obviously. Which
Suck it, Pickleball Studio.
I don't think so. Yeah, but a lot of this podcast has been talked about. I actually told a friend that I'm getting on it, and he's like, "Oh, could you please give me a shout out?"
Yeah, who is it? Shout him out. Shout him out.
His name's Amol, and he's like this big fan, and he was just like fangirling all the time.
Shout out to Amol the fangirl.
Nope, bleep that name out. No free shout outs.
Oh, come on. Amol. Shout out Amol. My guy Amol. My fangirl Amol. What's Amol's last name? Come on.
Ramchandani. He's 17-year-old kid.
Okay. All right. I'll stick with Amol.
Yeah, it's easier.
What about what you guys are watching as far as like pro scene? Are you more into MLP, more into the PPA tour?
In terms of watching personally, I watch anything I can see. I mean, anything that's about pickleball, I watch. So I'm watching pickleball probably, if I'm up through the day, 12 hours, I'll be watching it about 7-8 hours.
And it's mostly like matches.
Damn.
Right?
Matches, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you're a sponge.
I am.
All right.
I am.
Who would you compare? We got to play whatever it was 2 days ago. We played a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you compare your game closest to? Like, is there somebody that you model your game after?
So I do not do that, but this is what my tennis coach back in the day told me. I used to watch. So I loved Andy Roddick, and I used to like try to serve like him.
He
and
loves
stuff
pickleball. Loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Does he?
No.
I don't think so. So I loved how Andy Roddick played. I used to try to serve like him and stuff like that. My coach was like, you've got to make an identity for yourself. You can't remodel your game according to anyone. So no, I do not. But I do try to learn something from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of watched you play and get that off the bounce forehand speed up, and I'm going to try to start working on that. So that's something like you want to try and pick up something from everyone.
For sure.
And that's why I just love to watch pickleball, is because you learn so much more watching than probably playing and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best players are going to be Frankensteins of all the best players before them, right? Where you're taking one piece from Gabe, the way that Gabe plays, one piece from the way J-Dub plays, Ben, like piecing it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna